Hello, friends. Who is the most valuable person on planet Earth for us? Maybe it is one of our idols. Or a person whom we especially love, respect, appreciate. Who is the smartest person on the planet? Usually, when we are asked such a question, we begin to remember the most outstanding figures of science, art, great thinkers, philosophers. Our idols, whom we want to be equal to. But the correct answer to this question is, it is you yourself. Each of us is the center of the universe and the center of the universe for ourselves. You yourself are the smartest and most competent in all matters for yourself. It is very important for everyone to realize this fact. It will allow you to become happy and find balance in life. We all look for idols, ask ourselves difficult philosophical questions, look for God. But what if I tell you that you are God? All of you who are watching this video now, who are contemplating the world around you, all of you are God. Why did I decide that? What do we know about God? First of all, God is the only one for all of us. And you yourselves are also the only and inimitable ones for yourselves. God is constantly watching us and the whole world. And you, too, are watching this world, each from your own point of view. You will say, well, what kind of person is the only one? Like, you see, billions of people live on planet Earth. I answer, maybe they do live, but how real they are, we do not know. Each of us feels only our body, only ourselves. We look at this world only with our own eyes, all our senses perceive this world. Thus, we can make a simple conclusion, in the world for each of us there is only one really living being. And this is ourselves, each for himself. And all the other people can be just a game of our imagination, some kind of hologram. They can be a mystical matrix from a movie or an ordinary dream. We sometimes dream of people with whom we have never communicated in life. Is this an illusion? I have no idea. From the point of view of formal logic, everything that we sense around us can turn out to be an illusion. Scientists have not yet fully unraveled all the secrets of the human brain and the central nervous system of a person. We feel ourselves, we know ourselves 100%, but nothing can be said with the same confidence about others. It is generally accepted that God is the smartest creature in the world, the kindest, the most humane. This is also exactly about us. Our opinion is the most correct, our arguments are always the most correct, the only true ones for us. Our logic is the most ironclad. We like to exist in our own information bubbles and confirm our already formed beliefs every time. It always seems to us that we are right. You will say, what nonsense. We are not gods. We did not create this world. Well, I don't know, in any case, we don't remember it. Each of us is the creator of our own world, each of us creates our own worldview, our own perception of reality, our own happiness. When we were born into this world as a result of the fusion of our parents' sex cells, from a zygote, this world was recreated for us for the first time. It was built specifically for us and created exclusively for ourselves. Consequently, we can come to the paradoxical conclusion that it may have been created by us. As is well known, God lives forever, but you and I also actually live forever. By the way, there was even a separate video about this on the channel, which was called, How to Live as an Atheist, Non-Believer. About eternal life for atheists. In that video, I explained in great detail and with good reason why our life is eternal and endless. I first saw this idea and thought about the center of the universe in man himself in the works of the Russian writer Leo Tolstoy. But later, in a variety of forms, from different thinkers, I only received confirmation of the truth of this thesis. This is necessary for your self-esteem, for your perception of yourself and for your understanding of the value of yourself as the one and only subject in this world. People around us will inevitably criticize, try to offend, humiliate you. But do not forget that you are God for yourself. You are the smartest, most valuable, most important person on this earth. You should never become an enemy to yourself, testify against yourself. Yes, you can engage in self-criticism, try to work on your mistakes, but you can't overdo it. You can't humiliatingly put your "I" in the background. Sometimes I communicate with very smart, kind and worthy people who do not value themselves at all, voluntarily lower their self-esteem. This manifests itself even in small things, in conversations, in manners. They talk about their shortcomings. For example, in a casual conversation, they mention their age as some kind of obvious shortcoming. For example, the phrases, "I'm still too young and inexperienced for this." Or, "I'm already too old, I'm already 40 years old and half of my life has most likely already been lived." Friends, never say such phrases, do not mention your age in the context of your shortcomings. Thoughts are in a sense material and you program yourself in advance for failure, for those bad events that you talk about. It is often suggested to think about death, to reflect on the finiteness of human life. This is a mistake. There is no need to think about death. It will come to you sooner or later and we will never be able to prepare for it anyway. Think only about life, do not think about how much time you have left before death. Maybe you will die tomorrow, or perhaps in many, many years. To be happy, you should not dwell on this, but think only about life. Remember that despite all the hardships and trials, your life is always eternal and endless. This is true. It is foolish to think otherwise. Man was created for life and for happiness, just as a bird was created for flight. This profound thought, which I thought about after reading Vladimir Korolenko's stories for the first time, requires special understanding and acceptance. Man was created for happiness, just as a bird was created for flight. This is not luck, but a natural, organic course of events. If you want to become a truly happy person, you should accept yourself, your life, as the highest value. Love yourself first of all. Most religions teach us differently. Love your neighbor. Our culture extols self-sacrifice as the highest manifestation of virtue. Take care of others, not yourself. We are taught this from childhood. We consider self-sacrifice to be some kind of pinnacle and ideal for ourselves. Sacrifice yourself for the good of others. But such an attitude, unfortunately, often contradicts nature, biology, dooms us to suffering, to rejection of the value of the human personality, the value of ourselves and life in general. Try to be for surrounding ideals is an initially utopian idea. Remember the famous parable about the donkey and the riders. If a man puts a woman on a donkey and walks alongside her, those around him will criticize him, saying that he is henpecked and that he pleases the woman too much. If he sits on the donkey himself and his wife walks alongside her, he will still be criticized for the fact that, on the contrary, he does not respect his wife and thinks only of himself. If they both sit on the donkey, critics will feel sorry for the donkey and criticize the fact that the riders do not feel sorry for the poor animal. They sit together and do not care about the poor donkey. If both, the husband and wife, get off the donkey and simply carry it alongside her, critics will still find a reason to express their dissatisfaction. They will say, these two are complete fools because they do not know how to use a donkey. Conclusion: you will never be able to please all the critics at the same time. No matter how you act, there will be those who will not like your activity. And therefore there is no need to react too painfully to criticism from others. It's all secondary and does not concern you personally. I very often see people who are too worried about what others will think of them. For example, I will not keep my blog, express my thoughts, because I am afraid of criticism from subscribers. What will my friends and acquaintances think? I will not marry my loved one, because my circle of friends does not accept him. What will people say? What will the neighbors think? We sometimes give up our happiness, what we really want to please the opinion of strangers, haters. Remember this parable about the donkey and the riders? Know that you will never please everyone. You should concentrate only on your desires, your values. Remember that you are the one and only. You are zero God. What is important is what you want. To become happy, you should learn to listen to your own desires, and not please others. You can only answer the formulated questions. If you are not they ask, then you don't need to answer. Don't react to your interlocutor's remarks. People sometimes enter into arguments only to solve some of their psychological problems. You shouldn't take everything that is said only personally. Any problem has only the degree of significance that we ourselves have assigned to it. Sometimes it's worth changing your attitude to this problem in order to maintain your psychological balance. The second life hack: try to exclude words that express self-doubt, such as probably, possibly, please, could you tell me? If you want to ask your interlocutor something, it is better to do it directly, without any conditions. An insecure person with low self-esteem will ask, could you tell me what time it is? You always want to refuse him in response, to say, I can't tell you. If you want to ask the time, you do not need to use subjunctive phrases before the phrase or set any conditions that will belittle yourself in the eyes of the interlocutor in advance. It is better to ask directly and confidently. This will discourage the desire to answer you with a refusal. People read confidence and are more loyal in communication. Remember that the only thing that is most valuable is you yourself. These are my thoughts, friends. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to this channel, where there will be many more interesting and useful things. Goodbye, until next time.